So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are around the world. Just want to welcome you to the VRL PS4 YouTube channel, also known as Hot Lap Mode VRL PS4. We are live for round 4 of the German Grand Prix of the VRL F2 Championship. It's been an exciting season so far, and we've got plenty more in store for you with this race. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the VRL YouTube channel. We are Hot Lap Mode VRL PS4. You can also subscribe and follow the VRL Instagram page, which is at Vision League Racing, and you can also follow us on Twitter as well as VRL_PS4. You can also follow our sponsors Hot Lap Mode, as they are Hot Lap Mode on Twitter and on Instagram. Those guys produce some of the best content that I have seen based on yours and mine favourite motorsport, Formula 1. So make sure to give those a follow. Now that we've got the formalities out of the way, it is time for the small matter of the German Grand Prix. As you can see, we've got a pretty full drivers list available for us today. So hopefully we will have more drivers available than we did at the British Grand Prix. If you haven't seen any of the races so far coming up to this point in the season, we do recommend that you do check us out and check those races out. There's plenty of action to catch up from. Sorry, I do apologise. And also we have a comment section as well. Now, I do realise in the last couple of races I have not been overly active on that section, but I will do my best to make sure that I am more active in the comment section. So to those of you that have already commented, hello. How are you doing this evening? I am very, very good, so thank you very much for joining us. As we're just waiting for the rest of our drivers to assemble for the start of the race. Please do bear with us one moment. So we are almost ready to get underway. Please do feel free, as I mentioned before, to comment in our comment section on the YouTube page, and also please give us a like, share and subscribe as well. So whilst we wait for the lobby to begin and for the qualifying session to begin, just to brief you on the format, we currently operate with a one-shot qualifying session which will last for 18 minutes, and then we will go on to the race itself. The race is a 50% full distance, which at Hockenheim should be around, if my maths is right, and it usually isn't, around 38 laps. So it might seem like a long one, but don't worry, it will go it'll feel like it'll be in a flash. So don't you worry. So not long to go now until the start of qualifying. Of course, please, as I mentioned before, do comment in. I'll be reading the comments and be getting back to you so far. You may be familiar that normally our coverage usually includes 2 commentators. Unfortunately, my co-commentators are unavailable for this race, so you will have the utmost honour and pleasure of listening to me go on forever and ever and ever for the next hour and a half. Also, do remember that after this race has finished, do stick with us, as we will be inviting the top 3 finishers on the track to join us in the studio for our post-race commentary. Just as a bit of housekeeping, to let you know, for those of you that were familiar with the British Grand Prix, and I won't spoil too much, but please do check it out if you haven't seen it, but our original race winner Burkhardt in the Ferrari, unfortunately for him, had been handed a 5-second time penalty for an incident earlier in the race. As a result, our second place finisher in the Alfa Romeo, let's go down here, who's not currently with us in the order, so we'll just wait. Actually, no, sorry, beg your pardon. Yes, so there's a change in order there, and we had our race winner there. So, moving right along, it looks like our roster is starting to pack up now and starting to fill up. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with me, my name is Adam Burns, otherwise known as Adensky. Please do follow me on Twitter as under Adensky, and also the same under Instagram. And if you like the sound of my voice, well, the good thing is I have a podcast as well that I'm sure the organisers will not mind me plugging. If you're interested in listening to my podcast, it's based on Formula One content. A friend of mine and myself have been fans for over 25 years now of the sport, and we basically give our 2 cents on the hottest topics, and we've been reviewing the testing so far. Our next episode is live, should be live Monday night, failing that Tuesday morning, and we are known as @DNF1_podcast. So follow us on YouTube, DNF1 podcast. And it looks like we're about to get underway for qualifying, so let's get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Go get yourself a nice beverage, some food, put yourself out on the couch, sit back, relax, and enjoy some of the best online esports racing that we have to offer on this channel. You will not find racing quite like anywhere like VRL _PS4. To see everyone on our roster is just loading in. So the question is on everyone's lips: can anyone make ground on VSR_ISTR Runaway Championship leader, who in the British Grand Prix experienced some technical difficulties where he was not able to reconnect with the lobby, as he was driving very, very well after winning the first 2 races, and unfortunately, as a result of being disconnected from the lobby, he ended up finishing further down the order in 6th place, I believe. So dropped some points, but it's still a gargantuan effort from the rest of the field in order to keep up with him. So we're waiting to see the first drivers to come out of the pit, and it looks like the Red Bull is first out of the garage. Be rest assured that after the most recent couple of races that we have got some more drivers coming along. We should have a much more competitive order now, as we are with Lion Games NL_YT first out of the garage in the Red Bull, who also has a new teammate, J_Fletcher1, normally a reserve driver, is also driving in the Red Bull today, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Just a quick question for those of you in the comments section. Feel free to please comment, as I will be reviewing this as the race goes on over this coverage. I want to ask you a few quick questions. So the first question I'm going to ask in this coverage, for those of you, and please try not to cheat and use the internet, as I have already, hence why I have the answers, but can you tell me who the most successful driver is in the history of the German Grand Prix? Now this isn't just restricted to Formula One, this is restricted to racing at the Hockenheim circuit in general, but we will go by from what I've got here, so hopefully you guys can let me know who you think it is, and I will reveal all very, very soon. So that's a question: who is the most successful driver in German Grand Prix history? So see how many of you can get that right later on. It's not who you think it is, so that's a bit of a clue. So now we are with Lion Games NL_YT, who is the first man out on a flying lap. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. He's in the Red Bull. Remember, for those of you that are unfamiliar to the format of this racing league, all the cars are equal, so do not expect to see a Mercedes running away from the rest of the field or a Williams struggling at the back. Although for those of you that are keeping an eye on testing, you will know that Williams have made some progress, which is great to see for 2020, so that will be very, very exciting. I'm very much looking forward to seeing that in action. So it's that Ferrari in the way there. He manages to get out of the way, which is good to see. comes out of the final corner now, and the first time of the day, Lion Games NO_YT, a 1:13.8 on the soft tyres. Let's go down the order, and his teammate Jay Fletcher in the Red Bull making his debut in F2 as well. So we're good to see how he gets on. Tim Coronel goes fastest in the Toro Rosso with a 1:11.9 on the soft tyres, and Jay Fletcher goes third on the hard tyres, so not a bad time. We also have another debutant as well, PMP_Casse G in the McLaren this weekend. And he'll be looking to impress as well, and he's done a good time as well. And now the times are starting to flood in now. It's Bois on pole, not quite on pole at the moment, my friend, but second place on the hard tyres is not bad. So the strategies are going to be quite interesting to see, as we see a mix of strategies. Do note that those in the top 10 will start on the tyres that they completed their fastest lap on. As I say, that Tom Coronel, not to be confused so much with Tim, has gone fastest with a 1:11.8 on the softer tyres as well, so just under 2/200 of a second faster. And Burkeye on the hard tyres are 1:13.7. Disappointed to miss out on what was seen to be his first race win at the British Grand Prix. Unfortunately misses out, and he will have to go searching further again. But a second place, not too bad. Oh, and we've had Lion Games NO_YT. Bit too greedy there. Looks like it's in the stadium section. He'll need to be careful as he rejoins the track. Looks like he's rejoined the track. Oh, I say that very safely. That was Magic Alonso there. Looks like he might have been compromised. He's managed to avoid incident, but that must have hurt his time a little bit as he comes across the line. Third fastest, so 1:12.492. So I've just received a notification from our organisers that it looks like the session is going to be restarted. There's been a problem. Just looking to get confirmation for you all now, so bear with us. Please do stick with us, as this is not 100% certain, but at the moment it looks like the lobby may be restarted. Please do bear with us. Please do keep your comments coming in. I want to see what more answers to this question. So the question I have for you guys is, who is the most successful driver at the German Grand Prix? I will reveal the answer to that at the end of qualifying. Whether the session may be being restarted, so please do keep an eye. As we're with nil ticks in the Racing Point, almost said Force India. And it looks like, yes, I'm afraid to say we will have to restart the session. So unfortunately for some of the drivers that have set laps, they will have to redo those again, I'm afraid. I do apologise for the inconvenience. This is a temporary setback, but not a massive problem. So do bear with us. If you've just joined us, we will be continuing more, as some of the drivers are still going round. However, they won't have received notification that the session is going to be restarted. Apologies for the delay in my commentary. I'm just checking, as I did say a few times, it looks like the session is going to be restarted, but I just am checking with the organisers. Once we have an answer to that, we'll let you know, but please do bear with us, as we're just with at the moment Bois on pole, currently running 5th fastest, so I would encourage him to go faster. However, at this point I'm not quite sure if that is going to continue. So apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to have to restart. There was an issue with the settings. For those of you familiar with online lobbies and managing those, you can always count if it's your first time on just a small little error, but we'll forgive them anyway. Happens to all of us, we are all human. In the meantime, for those of you that just joined us, welcome. This is the 4th round of the VRL F2 Championship. We are live in Germany for this race. Now, for those of you that haven't seen the first 3 races of the season, first of all, where have you been? We've been up and running for quite a while now, you know, so we've got a championship going on here, but please do check out those videos before. Some of them are absolute crackers, and believe me, you won't want to miss out on those, so please do check them out for us. You can follow us and subscribe to the channel. We are Hot Lap Mode VRL PS4. Please like, subscribe, share to your mum, dad, sister, brother, your nan, granddad, work colleague, friend, cat, dog, even your pigeon if you have one. So please share it as much as you can. The more followers and more support that we can get, the better chances we have of, well, say better chances, the more content that we can provide for you lovely people. In the meantime, for those of you that have just joined us as well, you can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. So on Twitter, it's VRL_PS4, and on Instagram, it is Vision Racing League, all one word. As it looks like we are ready to finally go racing. For those of you that have just joined us that are unfamiliar with the format, we run an 18-minute one-shot qualifying session, so one session to get your best times in, and then followed by a 50% race, which I believe is around 38 to 39 laps of the beautiful Hockenheim circuit, home to many famous world champions such as Michael Schumacher, Nico Rosberg and Sebastian Vettel. For those of you checking on, it looks like we are about to go racing, just some of the drivers just loading in. And to put a question out there to you viewers, I've already mentioned to some of you that have been watching since the start of the stream, I'm going to be featuring a question or two for you lot in the comment section to guess to see which one of yous have been able to impress me with your racing knowledge. So the question for this qualifying session, which I will reveal at the end of the session, is who is the most successful driver in German Grand Prix? Doesn't necessarily have to just be Formula 1, although the answer I've got on here is via the internet, via a reliable site, which I will not disclose because I do not want you guys to cheat. But just a hint, it's not who you might think it is. There's an obvious answer, I'm sure, for some of you, but it's not who you think it is. So it looks like we're about to get underway once more. Some of the drivers coming out on track, and Lion Games NL_YT, just as he was in the first session, is the first man out in the Red Bull, and he's on the red striped soft tyres. And as you can see, some of your guesses are on there already. It's be interesting to see. And I probably will have to review back and forth to see who was the first person to guess the right answer. However, from what I can see so far, it's no one so far has guessed correctly. And it's definitely not Nico Hulkenberg. Thank you very much, CDB Cornet. It's not quite Nico Hulkenberg. It's a shame that Nico Hulkenberg is not in the F1 2020 roster. Hopefully, whatever Nico decides to do in his racing career, I wish him all the best, and hopefully we may see him again soon. You never know. Stranger things have happened in Formula 1. So for those of you who just joined us again, it's an 18-minute one-shot qualifying session. Well, I say one shot, there's plenty of opportunities really, depending on how many laps you want to do. But these guys have one session, set the fastest time, and that will decide the grid. As we now have Lion Games in the Red Bull, right in front of Big Roo 1325 in the Haas, who, well, is right up behind him, and Lion Games has every right to take his time on this, and it's going to compromise those behind him, although there will be a large amount of slipstream for Big Roo coming down the back here, so this might benefit him. But it's quite congested early on, as we can see a battle between the Racing Point and the Williams, happening behind us, but we're going to stay on board with Lion Games at the moment. And just to eliminate the suspense for some of you guys, it is also the answer to my question. It is not Michael Schumacher. Michael Schumacher has the second most race wins at the German Grand Prix. So it is not Michael Schumacher, I'm afraid. So I'll do my best to keep up with as much action as possible. We're still with Lion Games NO_YT as we've got the Force India following right behind him. It's going to come slow, probably Niltix, and Niltix goes faster, so 112.1. Lion Games did a 114, didn't really get it right, and Fletcher, his teammate, making his debut in the Red Bull, a 113.0 on the hard tyres. That's a good time. That is a good time. I'm expecting pole position to be in the 111s. In the high to mid 111s at the moment, but with Niltix, who is on pole on the soft, and Tim Coronel in the Toro Rosso goes fastest, a 1 minute 12.0. So it's all happening. Loads of drivers now completing their laps, and Lion Games has gone off the track at the hairpin, and is, well, he's hit the barrier. It looks like he's made some damage. It looks like he's lost most of his front wing on that left hand side, and there's some action behind. Oh, there's a big incident, and Bois on pole has got a 5-place group penalty for a collision as Big Roo caught up in that incident as well, and Bois on pole is retired from the session, which is a shame, but he will be starting from the back. It looks like Burkeye is about to shape up a moment to start his lap, but he was caught up in that incident, so he'll want to have... Games looks like he's okay. Jay Fletcher now coming to complete his next lap, but that was on a cool down lap by the looks of it. Now he's about to start his flying up, so we're going to go on board with Jay Fletcher. He's on the hard tyres at the moment, running in 3rd place. These are brand new hards by the looks of it. He's fastest in sector 1 as well, so that's a good start to the lap for him. But he worse than traffic in front of him. We've got VSR Ice-T, hasn't set a lap yet on his out lap. It'll be interesting to see the breakdown in strategies between the drivers. Some have gone for the softs, some have gone for the harder tyres. Looks like no one is favouring the mediums at the moment, except for PMP_Cassid G, who's gone 3rd fastest for 1 minute 12.3. Just an okayest middle sector for Jay Fletcher. We'll see what he does. He comes across the line, opens up the DRS, and that is a 1 minute 12.4. That's a very good lap on those hard tyres. He's done quite a few laps on those, so even though he's on the more durable tyre, he's not going to feel much benefit of them when he's done a few laps on them. Also around the track, FEL_Magic Alonso, fan favourite of the VRL F2, has gone 2nd fastest on the softer tyres. 1 minute 12.0, 300 per second off our pole sitter, Tim Coronel, and Tom Coronel in the Alfa Romeo. Last winner in Britain after the penalty to Burkeye. So winning the race for Alfa Romeo, so they're the first driver and the first team to win other than the Racing Points. The question remains is who's going to be catching our championship leader, VSR Ice-T, after his less than superb showing, as we're on board with him now, doing his lap on the medium tyre. So he will want to get back to winning ways again after what happened at the British Grand Prix. I won't spoil what happened for those of you that haven't seen the British Grand Prix. If you want to know what happened to him, do check it out. It is on the VRL PS4 channel as VSR Ice-T goes 5th fastest on this medium tyres. Less than a 10th behind his teammate. So he will still have work to do, but that's not a bad time considering that he's on the harder tyres than the 3 in front of him, except for his teammate Niltix. So just over 10 minutes to go in the session. As Dapperotti is up now. It's going quite slowly, so I'm not sure if he's on a fast lap. So I'm still waiting for you guys. I haven't had a right answer yet to my earlier questions, so please do keep guessing, do keep commenting. Hopefully one of you can get it right. As I said before, previous guesses, it is not Nico Hülkenberg and it is not Michael Schumacher. So as we're seeing some of the drivers, a bit of a turnaround here. As we've got Burkay, who's on an outlap, is about to start his flying lap, so Burkay will definitely want to get back to try and win. As Tim Coronel goes fastest, the first sub 112 time by Tim Coronel, a 1 minute 11.9 on the soft tyres. That's a good lap. And Burkay, oh, there's a big incident. Oh, Burkay has crashed. He's crashed into the back of Big Roo 1325, and well, gotta say, and that's Burkay. Looks like he's out of the session, and he is out of the session. He will not be happy about that. The man who, unfortunately, a penalty robbed him of the race win in Britain has driven straight into the back of Big Roo. But I've got to say, Big Roo, my friend, you really should have, you were on a slow lap, you really should have got off the racing line. It was very congested, as it's been a problem at this race track where a lot of drivers suffer with issues with congestion from back markers. As you can see, there's quite a lot of activity at the moment, and Big Roo has parked up, and that could be his session over, or is he waiting for other guys to go overtake him? Wow. I mean, we've seen before, there have been some tracks where congestion can be a problem, and Big Roo has retired from the session, and he will have a 5-place grid penalty for that incident, no doubt. And Burkay, I imagine, will not be very happy after that. As DRS Aquaplaning decides to abandon that lap on the mediums. Didn't look overly impressive. So Magic Alonso now just about to start his lap. Second fastest at the moment on the soft tyres. As you can see on the mini-map, he has got a fairly clear track ahead of him. And we are going to go on board with Magic Alonso as well. So Magic Alonso drove very well in Britain until the very end after his battle with Tim Coronel. Just missed out on a podium. He also had a similar problem to DSR_Ice-T, which you can catch on that video, as he just goes wide at the hairpin there. Oh, he's lost the rear end, he just can't quite get it together, and that's going to cost him time. And he's abandoned that lap. No surprises there. He's on board with his teammate Pine 2805, who is on the soft tyres on a hot lap. Almost 7 minutes to go now, so some of the guys coming into the pits changing their tyres, trying to get the best lap possible. The track is getting quicker and quicker, and behind has showed that 8 fastest, 1 minute 12.4. It is so tight between the top 9, if you include Big Roo as well. It is just over half a second. That is very congested, and that bodes for a great race. Fletcher goes second fastest on his debut. That is a great time from Fletcher. 1 minute 11.9 on the medium tyres. Excellent job from Fletcher there. Magic Alonso now is about to start another flying lap on the soft tyres. These tyres have done a couple laps, and this is where he made the mistake on the exit of the hairpin. Comes out much smoother, although a little bit hesitant on the throttle there, but he's got out of it okay this time. I'm going to stay on board with him now. Nearly 6 minutes to go. Tim Coronel in the Toro Rosso still fastest. Jay Fletcher in his debut in the Red Bull, less than half a tenth behind him on the medium tyres as well. With Magic Alonso, who's currently third fastest, less than a tenth behind Fletcher. So it's all going on at the moment. For those of you just tuned in, it's so much has gone on in this qualifying session. We've still got a race to come up as Magic Alonso goes very wide, and he's abandoned that lap. Oh, and he's Looks like he's... Wow, this is interesting. He's reversing. Now, not sure if the stewards will take... VSR Ice-T, so apologies, has gone fastest. A 1:11.3. Wow. Sorry I couldn't bring that lap to you, but what a lap. The championship leader stamping his authority on this race and on this qualifying session. That is a mega lap. And I'm sure the rest of the paddock now are going to see that time on their leaderboards, and that is going to send shockwaves. As Tom Coronel does a 1:11.6, the British Grand Prix winner has laid down his marker on the rest of the field, and he has been improving week after week after week, and the confidence he has got from his performance at the British Grand Prix has certainly inspired him to go on and set a good time there. That's another good time from him. As we're now with Tim Coronel, who's gone from first down to third on a flying lap now. Will be looking to respond, and he does. Wow, wow, my goodness. Now we are starting to see the times tumble. Tim Coronel with a mega 1:10.889 on the soft tyres. Wow, I tip my hat to you, sir. That is a mega lap. How will the others respond? This is exciting stuff now. As Ice-T's abandoned that lap, and Tim Coronel has retired from the session. As far as he's concerned, that's job done for him. He's happy with that lap, and he should be. And Niltix dives into the pits with his teammate VSR Ice-T, so they're going to have to get a change around done very quickly. So just less than 4 minutes to go of this session, as we're with PMP_Cassie G in the McLaren, one of our newest drivers into the Vrl F2 Championship. It's a good showing for McLaren. He looks pacey. Needs to find some more pace though. Well, I would say the field is quite bunched up, but the front three of Tim Coronel, VSR_Ice-T, and Tom Coronel have completely blown the field away, and he's abandoned that lap. As to his GPRL in the Haas. So we're now with DRS aquaplaning in the McLaren. He will be hoping for a better showing than what happened in the last race. And he is going into the pits as well. So it looks like everyone now is going into the pits to put on their last set of tyres. So not long left. But bear in mind though, those that are unfamiliar with the normal stream coverage, that the timer is a little bit ahead of the actual timer that the drivers see. And what that means is that once the timer goes down to 0, there is still time left on the clock. So we're going to have to watch the leaderboard to see the checkered flag, to see who finishes lap. As now Lion Games NL_YT goes for his final run on the soft tyres. His teammate J_Fletcher has had to back off a bit. So we're now on board. And that's a fast section from Jay Fletcher. Fastest of all so far. And he's on the red striped soft tyres. So he means business. And we're going to be on board with him now as he comes up to the hairpin, breaking down into second. Leaves it in second gear. The car ticking over. He wants to get going, but it looks very stable. A little bit of wheel spin in third gear, but he's back under speed. Coming up to the grandstand section of the Mercedes stand. This is home of the Mercedes F1 team. Jay Fletcher, a second off fastest of all overall, but that lap has been abandoned. That's exceeding track limits. That lap will not count. Will he go for another one? So with Lion Games NL_YT again, as he comes around the final corner, he's going to need to improve. It's been an okay-ish for him. That's a big improvement for him time-wise, but it's only 13th fastest. As Papine is now on a lap. He's 10th fastest at the moment. We'll rejoin him. Jay Fletcher has abandoned it, and Niltix is about to start a lap, so we're going to be on board with Niltix for this lap. Fully committed into turn 1, just a little bit of a lift, but he's okay. He's still going through. Now coming up into turn 2, and he's completely lost it, and Jay Fletcher has parked his car on the exit of turn 2. well, and he's retired from the session. I do not think Niltix will appreciate that too much, and I'm sure he'll be complaining to the stewards for that one. That is not good driving there from Jay Fletcher. It's not considerate to the other drivers. You cannot park your car there, and Niltix has had to abandon that lap. So we're now with Tom Coronel, who's on the medium tyres, and he's 1/10 off the fastest time in Sector 1. And we're going to stay with him for the rest of this lap. Can he improve? And also, can he take over from the lead? So a lot of other drivers are abandoning their laps. Bit strange strategy from Tom Coronel, because he's third fastest on the soft tyre, but he's trying to do a lap on the mediums. He's going to have to do well to get there now. And the checker flag has come up, so the drivers that are not on a lap will not be able to complete their lap times, but those that are on a lap will. As Tom Coronel comes into the final section, the stadium section, very famous round here in Germany, almost reminiscent of a football stadium. And now Tom Coronel, and PMP Casse G has gone second fastest with a 1:11.1 in the McLaren. Wow! And Tom Coronel's completely lost it as he's going across the line, and he will not improve. And VSR_ICT is not going to be able to complete his lap. Is there anyone else on a lap? No, I do not believe they are, except for VSR, who's going to go into the pits. So that is qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Coronel is looking like he's going to be on pole position. I can't see anyone else out there on a lap. VSR_ICT was the last one, and that is qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. So, just to round off the order, Tim Coronel with a mega 1:10.8, the only driver sub 1:11 in the Toro Rosso. PMP_Casse G is second in, I believe, his first or second time out for McLaren, so what a show from him. And then our championship leader, VSR_ICT, in third, with Tom Coronel, the race winner from Britain, in fourth. It's just shaping up to be an exciting race. Some mega laps were coming through, and we look like we've got a great race in store for you guys. Not to forget, Big Roo received a 5-place grid penalty for a crash which he caused from Burkay, who will start 14th, unfortunately. Only driver in the top 10 not starting on the soft tyres is J_Fletcher, who may have thought he'd set a fantastic time. Not to be, relative to the rest of the field, but he'll be on the medium tyres on his debut for Red Bull, and he will be one to watch out for. So whilst we're ready to form up the grid for the race, I can tell you now that for those of you in the comment section, I'm almost a bit disappointed, guys. I feel like I'm starting to show my age a little bit with this Formula 1 theory. But I asked the question earlier to you guys in the comments section, who was the most successful driver in the German Grand Prix history? And it is not Michael Schumacher. It's definitely not Nico Hülkenberg, unfortunately. And it is not Lewis Hamilton. It is in fact Rudolf Caracciola. Rudolf won the German Grand Prix 6 times between 1926 and 1939, so it was before Formula 1 was officially recognised in the 1950s. So unfortunately no one got this question right, but don't worry. I'm be very surprised if many of you did know Rudolph, but we are about to form the grid, and it is raining on the track as the formation lap begins. So all of a sudden, oh, and the race is underway. I do apologise. I thought there was a formation lap, but we are ready to go. So Niltix, and there's been massive incidents already, and there's absolute carnage behind. HDF Kimi has had a massive incident, and Ryan Arder in the Toro Rosso as well. It's right away, but it's Niltix who's in the lead, who will have a penalty for a jump start. Now I'm wondering if this is because some of the drivers thought it was going to be a formation lap and they've just gone. A lot of confusion, but he's still gone anyway, and Kimi is out of the Grand Prix after that. So straight away, it's completely caught us all off guard as we expected a formation lap, but it hasn't quite happened, and we're underway, and Niltix is currently leading the Grand Prix, and it is raining as well to add that. It's PMP Casse G with a good start in second place, Tim Coronel in third, Tom Coronel in the Alfa Romeo is in fourth place, and he's gone for the inside, and PMP Casse G with a great move in the stadium section. He takes the lead on his debut for McLaren. This is a great start from him, and Niltix has gone wide at the section where drivers like Charles and Nico Hulkenberg retired last year. And what a first lap. Well, we were all caught off guard by that start. But off we go now. PMP Casse G leads. Tim Coronel second in the Toro Rosso. Tom Coronel is now Niltix. Big Roo with a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Although do remember, ladies and gentlemen, I am on my own in commentary for this race, so I will not be able to follow all of the action, but I will do my best to keep up with the action as it goes on throughout the race. So in terms of penalties, I will not be able to follow based on what the race director says, unless we have a safety car, which I'll be able to check later on. So if Magic Alonso trying to make a move on Niltix there, as we have some more activity behind. It's all starting to bunch up and get really interesting at the moment. Fletcher around the outside of Niltix, and that's a great move from Fletcher. He's got plenty of grip in that Red Bull, and that should be a good car for him to feel comfortable with driving in these conditions. Will be interesting to see who can do what in these conditions. As with VSR Ice-T, who's dropped 5 positions, and he's battling with Burkay, who will be very determined to try and get as many points as he can after what happened at the British Grand Prix. But PMP Casse G getting away at the front, a 1:24.7 on the intermediate tyres. He's pulling away from the field. And this is a battle between two of the guys that were battling for the race win in the British Grand Prix. Staying on board at the moment with VSR Ice-T and Burkay battling at the moment for 7th place. VSR Ice-T is also chasing down Papine in the Renault, they've fallen quite a way back owing to earlier incidents in this race. And it looks like he might be able to make a move around the inside, but he's not going to go for it yet. As the two Mercedes drivers, Dapperotti and Handy Schenk's gone for it. Handy Schenk's gone around the inside, they've touched, and they've touched again, and they're still going wide. It's not going to help them, and Shanahan is going to try and get in the mix as well in the Williams. The two Mercedes still colliding with each other. This is not what Toto Wolff and the Mercedes bosses want to see, as Dapperotti smashes into the brake boards, and he's going to lose the position as well. As Sean Larry 808 in the Williams up into 11th place, and well, not all happy families at Mercedes at the moment. This is going on for 3rd place between Tom Coronel, who looks like he's lost a piece of his front wing end plate. Or I might just not see it. No, he's fine actually. Do excuse me for that one. It just looked weird from that angle. What a start. Henry Hengst, 8 places, up to 10th at the moment. Sean Larry is up 6 places. But Fletcher is on the back of Tom Coronel, looking to try and pull a move off the outside. And they've touched again. Can he hold it round there? It gets very tight in that area. And they touch again as Tom Coronel manages to hold on to the position. But now Fletcher's falling behind Magic Alonso. As now Magic Alonso is trying to fend off Fletcher. Will Fletcher make a dive on the inside? He's been forced wide onto the grass, but he just about manages to hold it together. Hendrickson's trying to fend off the Williams. He holds it around the inside. They've touched again, but he manages to hold on to 10th place. So it's all going on at the moment. It's just the action is going so thick and fast. It's hard to keep up as Magic Alonso goes wide, and Fletcher's looking for an opportunity up the outside. I'm not sure if something happened with him and Tom Coronel which caused that incident. Tom Coronel is right up behind the Toro Rosso now as Henry Schenks gets a penalty for multiple warnings. just a confirmation, Sean Larry has now moved into 10th place at the moment. But we are watching the battle for second place between Tim Coronel and Tom Coronel. I feel like I'm going to get confused quite a lot saying those two when they're racing together. As we're now 5 laps into this race, all a bit confusing at the start as Tim Coronel tries to hold on to the back end. As PMP underscore Cassie G in the McLaren out in front, no one seems to be bothering him. All the action is going on behind him at the moment, and Burkeye has made a move on VSR underscore ICE and has made it stick. He is up into 7th place in the Ferrari, so it's good to see Burkeye moving up the field. Will our championship leader be able to respond and live with him, or is he going to have a hard time keeping up with his pace in the Ferrari in front of him? And we have the SR Aquaplane trying to hold off Sean Larry. 8:08 in the Williams. Sean Larry is really moving through the field. He is 7 places up, and Tom Coronel's out of the race. What has happened to Tom Coronel? I do not know. Has he had a collision somewhere? Can't quite see what's happened to his car. Unfortunately, I do apologise, we're not quite able to see what happened there. But that's Tom Coronel, our British Grand Prix race winner, out of the race. And we now have a safety car. Whew. So just to take a breather, ladies and gentlemen, if you've just joined us, what a crazy opening start to this race. Had no formation lap, not quite sure why, went straight into it. Niltix had a penalty for jumping the start. As a result of that, a lot of drivers got confused out by that. And we have PMP underscore Cassie G, who did so much hard work really to pull away from the drivers at the front, and it's now looks like he's going to have to give up that lead. And a 3-second time penalty for Niltix for multiple warnings to come in the corners. Just on board with Dapparotti. Niltix following him behind. So it looks like the pack is now going to bunch up behind the safety car, as you can see there. So it looks like after all, Mercedes is now leading the German Grand Prix, albeit Bert Meinlander in the Mercedes. Ryan Arder receives a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's not been a good start for him so far, as he'll be looking to try and see if he can sort out his race, really. Fix it up, but as he comes out into the pits, he will have to try and catch the field now, who are coming up to the stadium section. So Ryan Arder's got a lot of work to do if he's going to try and get back with the leaders. Well, it's been an absolutely mad start to this race, and now we're in a position where we're going to have to wait and see what the strategy is going to be. Who's going to be bold and try and make a pit stop at this point? Maybe it's probably not worth it at this time, but as the race goes on, the conditions, we do not know what the conditions are going to do in this race. We're just going to have to keep an eye on the track, keep an eye on the drivers. They will be given information as to if the rain is easing up, if it's getting heavy, but at the moment it looks like it's still very wet. And we're going to be running on the inters for a while longer as the pack starts to bunch up. So just to recap, biggest winner at the start was Hendich underscore Hengst in the Mercedes, up into 8th place, started at the back of the grid. Mega job from him to climb up 10 places, and he does look fast as well. And the biggest loser, unfortunately, well, excluding Tom Coronel and Kimi unfortunately retired at the start of the race after a collision, which took him out with Ryan Arder. So unfortunately, once again, no points for Kimi in this race, which is very much a dying shame. Hopefully his luck will improve as the season goes on, as we have now the rest of the field bunching up and catching up with the guys at the front, as Bois on pole didn't quite manage to live up to his name, but he's running in 15th place at the moment in the Williams. We have Stein, who was a late joiner in the Ferrari, unfortunately was not able to join the lobby for qualifying, but it's great to see the big man is in the race, which is what we love to see. We want to see a full grid, and congratulations to the organisers, must be said, as we take this opportunity. We have managed to get a full grid. We've had problems with that before, There's a lot of great guys involved with VRL that do a lot of work behind the scenes that you don't see. I know you guys will tune in and listen to me and talk nonsense for an hour and a half, as some of our drivers do most of the, well, provide most of the entertainment. But there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, and as I just say that, and now some time penalties for drivers having a collision, so something's gone on. A few drivers, Stein has got a 5-second penalty as well, GPRL Jaffa Baboon has got a 5-second penalty. Well, I hope you guys are keeping up with or tallying this up, ladies and gentlemen, because at the moment, without a co-commentator, I'm not able to do that myself, and Big Roo has got a 10-second penalty for exceeding track limits. What is going on? There seems to be a lot of drivers backing each other up, and I'm not sure if this is a tactic to get other drivers to get penalties, which if it, and again, look, the two Mercedes colliding. What is going on? Dapperodi gets a penalty for colliding with his teammate, but to be fair, I mean, Henry Jenks and Mercedes was completely backed up. Nothing he could do. Gentlemen, you've really got to just show a bit more etiquette and consideration for your fellow drivers out there. You do not want to see drivers' races get ruined as a result of, well, just people backing each other up. I know everyone's got to stick to a delta, but it's getting ridiculous at the moment. So just as I was making the point earlier, as a moment, see the stops. So some of the drivers at the back made quite a few stops. So looking at it, I mean, some drivers might prefer to one stop, but it looks like potentially a two-stop race at the moment, unless the conditions improve. So just want to make the point as well, yes, as I was saying before, a lot of guys involved in the VRL team do a lot of work behind the scenes, and to bring you all the entertainment via this online league. And please do help us out. Please give us a like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Hot Lap Mode VRL _ PS4. Stein gets a 5-second penalty for a collision with Ryan Arder. I mean, it's all going on at the moment. The safety car is about to come into the pits. Now, so PMP _ Cassie G, who has driven a phenomenal race up to this point, his lead has been eroded away by the safety car, now takes charge of the field and will be hoping to get away again. But Tim Coronel is a very quick customer, and Jay Fletcher up into third has shown pace. And now we are back underway again. PMP Cassie G, can he get away from the pack again as he did before? As he's caught the field napping a little bit, and he goes into turn one in the lead. Tim Coronel second, Fletcher in third place. The two Renaults of Magic Alonso and Papine in fourth and fifth. Burkeye has got a good run on Papine, looking to try and go around the outside. Papine has managed to stick in the inside, but he's got a great bit of traction, Burkeye, but he might have to stick to his line. They've kept it away. And you've got VSR _ Ice-T battling with him as well. Burkeye right in the slipstream, as we're going to go on board with Burkeye as well in the Ferrari. He's got the inside. Is he going to brake later? He does brake a little bit later, and that's a good move. And can he hold it? Can he hold it? They're still colliding together. Is he able to hold on to the position? And he does. That's a great move, but he may have to stick with it. Is he going to keep it around? As VSR Ice-T goes for a lunge around the inside, but he can't quite hold it. There wasn't really any room for him. And that's Burkeye up into fifth place. VSR Ice-T has gone around the inside of Papine on the entrance to the stadium section, but he goes wide, and they touch, but they manage to keep it together. And that's a great move from VSR Ice-T. Doesn't let Burkeye get too far away from him, and he makes that overtake. Papine is falling down the order at the moment, and he needs to avoid losing more places. Niltik's trying to recover. He's up into 10th place. Sean Larry has dropped down. He's probably had a mistake somewhere, but he's battling with his teammate at the moment. Magic Alonso gets a time penalty warning as down the inside Sean Larry tries to go around the inside, not able to make it stick. Bois on pole, his teammate in the Williams following close behind as we are staying with the action. There's so much going on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, I've only got one camera angle I can show you and not be able to show you all of the action going on. As there's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars all battling each other between 10th and, well, 10th and 14th at the moment, as we've got Niltik's trying to go around the outside of Dapperodi. And there's all bunching up there, and they've all managed to avoid colliding with each other, but it's going to be 3 cars, or 2 cars I should say, going into the next corner. between Nilsix and Sean Larry, and they've managed to keep it together. Nilsix manages to avoid it as Dapperotti dives up the inside of all of them. Oh, and he's collided with Sean Larry. Wow, and oh, Dapperotti's collided, and he's been respawned onto the track. Bit fortunate there, but what a mega lunge from Dapperotti. Tried to overtake four, five cars. Didn't work out for him. Overshot the corner, had a collision. Thankfully for Sean Larry, he hasn't had too much damage, but have to keep an eye on him. Well, it's all going on. Whilst I've been talking about that, Fletcher has moved up into second place. He's now ahead of Tim Coronel. Tim Coronel's obviously had a mistake somewhere that we weren't able to see. Papine has got a time penalty for multiple warnings, and now Magic Alonso is going to have to fend off Burkay in the Ferrari. Burkay has been climbing up the order. He's showing his pace now. As we get to the point now where these intermediate tyres will start to wear a little bit, and we should start to see the strategy come into play. Who's going to be bold? Who's going to try and pin onto fresh rubber in a clear track? Maybe make up some moves with the undercut. So we've round off the top 8 at the moment. Burkay trying to get onto Magic Alonso, who's got a good run on Tim Coronel. Tim Coronel tries to cover him off. These two are battling in the British Grand Prix, and they're back battling once again, as Magic Alonso's right behind Tim Coronel. The roles are reversed now. Magic Alonso wants that podium spot off of Tim Coronel, but can Tim Coronel hold on to it? As it's a great run. Oh, and they've collided, and oh, Magic Alonso has lost his front wing, and he's lost control, and he's smashed right into the barrier, and he is out of the race. Those two cannot avoid incidents. What? Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please do comment on the reaction to that. Let me know whose fault you think that was. Looked like Magic Alonso was getting too close to the rear wing of Tim Coronel as Tim Coronel was moving along, and they collided. But now we see Burkay pitting as the safety car is now out. Burkay, the first driver into the pits. VSR, Ice-T, Papine and Hendricks follow him in. Stein is also into the pit lane. So now we are starting to see the strategy being enforced by the safety car. The Stein in the sister Ferrari also pits as well. So it's all going on the pit lane now. And PMP_Cassie G, Jay Fletcher, Tim Coronel in particular may have missed out on an opportunity there. The safety car come out at the wrong time for those guys, and Burkay, with that stop, has put himself in prime position now to take the lead of this Grand Prix, like he did in the British Grand Prix as well. I mean, wow, that incident between Tim Coronel and Magic Alonso, the more I think about it, it did look like, even though Magic Alonso was right on the rear wing of Tim Coronel, he moved to the right hand side, but Tim Coronel did try to move over too much and wasn't really leaving his compatriot enough space to really battle with him, and as a result the two have collided. And unfortunately for Magic Alonso, once again is another retirement, just like in the Austrian Grand Prix as well, which is a shame for him, because we want to see him and Tim Coronel have plenty of battles like they did in the British Grand Prix, but the guys, you need to keep it clean, and this is what happens on a wet track like this. The conditions are so treacherous that one mistake and that's you out of the race. Will we see PMP_Cassie G come into the pits? He missed the opportunity to pit under the safety car. He does not pit. Does anyone behind him pit? No, they are all staying out, so they are going to try and play a longer game now. And I'm not sure that's the wisest thing to do. I would probably cut my losses and pit if it were me, but I trust these guys know what they're doing. Burkay at the moment, as you are watching on the stream, currently in my mind in a net first place as well. VSR Ice-T in second on the a net second place I should say in the racing points, currently 8th at the moment. Papine also looking like he's took advantage of that situation as well, and he was falling down the order, so for him, he's at the right place at the right time. As the safety car is still out, we're going to have a little look to see who's made up what places. So at the moment, the biggest winner, Bois on pole, 4th on the road, made up 12 spots, but he has not pitted yet, so that will be subject to change as the cars are now being bunched up. Hendricks, our real big winner, 10th at the moment. Who's made another stop. And he's on the intermediate tyres. So at the moment, gotta say, the top 5, maybe not GPRL Jaffa Baboon, who's in a good position. He will resume the lead once the safety car comes into the pits and everyone's made their stops. This is on 5 laps. Brian Pole 6 lap intermediate tyres as well, so he's in a good position as well. But the front 3 guys and Niltix as well have been caught out by this safety car. It's come at a very unfortunate time for them, and they'll have to restart the race now on old inters. The safety car is now in, so the pack's going to be bunched up. PMP_Cassie G has driven a brilliant race so far, as Brian Pole has got a penalty as he dives into the pits. A 5-second penalty for colliding to the back of Tim Coronel. And now we're back underway. It's PMP_Cassie G followed by Jay Fletcher. Niltix is now up into 3rd place, but he's battling with Tim Coronel. He's got up the inside of Tim Coronel. Tim Coronel goes wide and he's going to try and rejoin the track to battle with him, and he stays with him, battling for 3rd place as Niltix is round the inside. And Tim Coronel manages to hold it round the outside. Great job from Tim, although I'm sure the stewards will be watching that the way they rejoin the track without slowing down. But Niltix has gone round down the back straight. There's no DRS, remember, under these conditions. They touch again, and Tim Coronel shuts the door on Niltix. There was a little bit of touch in there between the two. Not happy, as VSR, Ice-T and Burkeye battling for 6th and 7th at the moment, as Burkeye manages to hold on to the lead. Tim Coronel receives a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, as GPRL Jaffa Baboon goes around the inside of Tim Coronel, but they touch again. And Niltix has also passed Tim Coronel, excuse me, he's done that without me seeing it. And now Burkeye is looking lively. And well, it's all going off, and Burkeye is up into 5th place in the Ferrari, so that's a great opportunistic move from him. Holds onto the inside line and he manages to maintain it. And while this is all going on, it allows the race leaders to get away at the front as they continue to go round. So PMP_Cassie G and Jay Fletcher still going around, but they're getting away. Niltix is in 3rd place, Tim Coronel in 4th in the Toro Rosso. Burkeye in the Ferrari is currently in 5th place, GPRL Jaffa Baboon in 6th. VSR_IFT is 7th, and as I say his name, GPRL and Haas has received a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings as he goes around the outside of Burkeye to try and get for 5th place. Burkeye holding on to it, he's going to try and shut the door on him, and they manage to avoid an incident. And they're still going, but now we're coming up to the hairpin as Tim Coronel looking to get it. Niltix, Burkeye and GPRL Jaffa Baboon trying to go around the inside. Is he going to make a dive bomb and lunge? They both break very, very late, and Burkeye manages to shut the door, but VSR Ice-T round the outside. Oh, and there's a mistake for Niltix, and Burkeye is up into 4th place. Oh, and there's been a crash. Has there been a crash? No. Well, it looks like there was an incident. Pepine has dropped down the order. Ryan Arder now battling with him as we leave that battle to go back to the battle for what at the moment is from 3rd all the way down into 7th. As Tim Coronel leads Burkeye and Niltix, VSR_Ice-T and GPRL Jaffa Baboon. It's all going on here, ladies and gentlemen. We have got one hell of a race so far, and the conditions are really helping that. This is great stuff between these guys. Must say, round of applause to you fellas. What a race you are giving us. Plenty of entertainment at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if you're not going to like and subscribe to more like this, then what are you going to subscribe to, honestly? This is the sort of race we want to see. And Burkeye's received a time penalty for multiple warnings there, as these guys are all lying astirred at the moment. Niltix on 15 lap hole intermediate tyres. He's doing a very good job to stick with these guys at the moment. As Ryan Arder has retired from the session, he's had an incident, and we have a virtual safety car. So we can take a breather once again. So it looks like that incident with Ryan Arder. It looks like just as a move there, the DRS aquaplaning underscore, well, excuse me, DRS underscore, as you can see, Ryan Arder's had an incident where he's had a collision with the barrier and he's out of the race. We're now down to only 13 runners at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, and we're not even at the halfway point yet. And we're down to, yeah, We're down to 13 runners at the moment. We had 20 at the start, now we're down to 13. So these guys, I mean, as exciting as it is to see, but for the guys at the back, the consolation for them, or what would inspire them, is that as long as they keep it clean and avoid incidents and avoid retiring, they will end up scoring points. Niltix has received a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. That is not what he will want. What that means essentially is he's now going to have to go through the pits without changing his tyres to serve this penalty, as we're back under racing speed again. And he's going to then have to pit again, but Burkhart's gone around the inside of Tim Coronel in third place. That's a great move from Burkhardt. We just about caught the end of it, but Burkhardt, very lively. He's been very good at reacting to these safety cars once the periods are finished, and it's another great getaway from him. As Tim Coronel is now going to have some catching up to do, but on old intermediate tyres, he is going to have some trouble, as Burkhardt effectively is running in a net first place. But Tim Coronel is trying to go for a dive right round the outside, but Burkhardt defends that line well and should have the traction coming out of the hairpin on the fresher tyres. Tim Coronel has got away well, and he's running slipstream as one of the Mercedes, Dapper Roddy, having a bit of a slide there. Oh, and there's a massive collision. Tim Coronel and Burkhardt have collided, and Burkhardt has been sent in a spin. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to leave your own thoughts on that, as Magic Alonso has, well, he was out of the race, has left the session, sorry, but Burkhardt's lost his front wing, and it's a virtual safety car again. Ladies and gentlemen, leave your thoughts on that collision, but Tim Coronel and Burkhardt, well, they were just too close together. There was not really enough room, and Tim Coronel again involved in another collision as the two race leaders have pit now, and they'll be very happy under a virtual safety car, which has just finished, as Tim Coronel comes into the pits as well. So does he have damage? It looks like he has damage, as Burkhardt is now racing to get into the pit lane. And he will not be happy having seen Tim Coronel in front of him, putting on some new tyres. As VSR_Ice-T, our championship leader, now leads the German Grand Prix with GPRL Jaffa Baboon in the Haas. That's a mouthful to say. Is now in second place. Dapper Roddy and Hendrik Hens, the two Mercedes drivers, other than a few incidents early in the race, battling each other, are now up into third and fourth for Mercedes. So the home crowd will be happy with that so far. Can the Mercedes guys challenge the race leaders? Well, we've still got half this race to find out, so plenty more to go on at the moment. PMP_Cassie G probably feared after the safety car that he was in a bit of bother. After leading this race so well, he's now fifth at the moment on fresh tyres. He might be able to go to the end on those, so it'll be worth seeing. And well, Hendrik Hens has had an incident in the Mercedes. He's obviously spun, he's damaged his front left end plate, and he's down into fifth place, so that promotes PMP_Cassie G and the McLaren up into fourth, as we now have the two leaders. Jaffa Baboon keeping up with VSR_Ice-T. Will the race leader and the championship leader be feeling the pressure? And some of our eagle-eye viewers seem to be of the opinion that Tim Coronel there, and well, I can't really disagree with you. Probably a bit too dangerous there, as Hendrik Hens has come into the pits, as we now have Niltix and Fletcher. Niltix is on 18 lap hole intermediates, as Fletcher is right behind him, and he's going to be looking on fresh tyres to get ahead. He's looking for a dive around the inside, and that should be a nice and easy move for Fletcher, and it is up into fifth place, and he will be now hunting down the McLaren and the other leaders ahead of him. As Jaffa Baboon on 4 lap older intermediate tyres is still keeping up with the leader. There's not a massive amount to say at the moment on VSR_Ice-T. He's been in the pack, he's been in the fight, but he's managed to keep his nose clean, literally, at the moment, and by virtue of doing so has found himself leading the race once again, as he's been so good at doing this season. He's not always been incredibly fast, as we've seen in some places, but he's been able to keep it clean, he's been able to avoid incident, and he's once again leading the Grand Prix, with the Haas right behind him Not the Haas of Big Roo, unfortunately. He's had a torrid race so far, but his teammate is really fighting the race leader for the front, and this is the battle that we're sticking with. Both drivers may choose to stay out on these tyres, but seems the common consensus is they may have to pit again. If there's another safety car incident, they probably will pit again. But this is the battle on track at the moment. While on pole, back-to-back fastest laps of the race. So we go on board with the Haas of GPRL, Jaffa Baboon. In second place, it has a little look around the inside, but VSR underscore Ice-T does not fall for the dummy and manages to hold on to the lead. So he's keeping pace with him, which is impressive to see. Not too many outings for him in the F2 Championship, but he's keeping with him, the race leader. Just looking through the field. Let's look for Burkeye now. He's currently up into 9th place, trying to recover. He's got DRS underscore aquaplaning following him close behind in the slipstream. Too far ahead for DRS to have a go around the inside. Well, the stewards will have plenty to review, that's for sure. Most notably from Tim Coronel himself, who is now right up behind Niltix. Niltix is on 19 up intermediate tyres. He must be waiting for a safety car. That's the only reason why I couldn't feel that he's still on the track at the moment, but it's not coming. And Tim Coronel in the stadium section right up behind him is looking to size up a move to move into 6th place. And Niltix has now given up the ghost, probably sensible. It's been a crazy race for him. He's had drive-through penalties, he's had other incidents, he's had to repair his car, he had another penalty as well for a jump start, which, in fairness to him, not overly his fault, owing to the lack of a formation lap. But we press on as we're now with PMP underscore Cassie G, who's now right behind Dapperotti in the Mercedes, and he'll be looking to try and make the move. He's got the slipstream on him. Dapperotti to the inside of the Mercedes. PMP brakes a little bit early on the outside, looking for the switchback, but Dapperotti parks his car on the apex, and he's able to maintain 3rd position. As we're now back with the battle for 8th place between Burkeye and DRS aquaplaning. Burkeye at the moment not really able to make gains. At the moment it's Bois on pole in the Williams, who all of a sudden has found some electric pace. He's set fastest lap after fastest lap, and he's currently catching the battle of Tim Coronel at the moment, who's running in 6th at the moment, so interesting. And Dapperotti's gone off the road at the stadium section, and that has allowed PMP Cassie G to move into 3rd place, and Jay Fletcher. So we just caught him coming off the track, and that is a shame for Dapperotti, because he was driving really well in the Mercedes, but now he's lost out. PMP Cassie G is up into 3rd, into the podium places once again. Fletcher has set the fastest lap of the race in the Red Bull, and Dapperotti's got a 3-second penalty for time warning, so that will add to his misery. But we're now with GPRL, Jaffa Baboon in the Haas. On board with him now is in the slipstream of the championship leader and the race leader, VSR underscore IC, as he goes for a lunge around the inside. Oh, surely he's going to outbrake himself. They touch, but VSR underscore IC, well, it's a good traction from GPRL. He may be able to take the lead of this here. This goes around the inside, they touch again, and they're still going, and they're still colliding, and they both avoid sliding off there. Very dangerous driving between the two, very feisty, but it's VSR underscore Ice-T who stays in the lead of the race, and well, he'll probably feel a little bit aggrieved with all of that for different reasons for both drivers. But GPRL outbraked himself into the hairpin, went into VSR underscore Ice-T, and then Ice-T was not having none of that, got the shoulders out and made sure he stayed in the lead of this race. Thankfully both drivers still able to continue without much detriment to their overall time, but the battle will wage on between them. This will only help the chasing pack with PMP underscore Cassie G and Fletcher, who are both chasing behind in 3rd and 4th respectively on much fresher tyres, who probably do not need to pit again, I would say. So they're in prime position to pounce as the battle continues for the lead. VSR underscore Ice-T, GPRL, Jaffa Baboon, very quickly becoming my favourite tag name to say. He's on the inside, he's not as close as he was on the last lap. Is he going to make a lunge around the inside this time? No, he holds position this time. Jay Fletcher in the Red Bull is catching the race leader as Neil Tix gets a 3-second time penalty. I hope you guys are tallying up all of these penalties at the moment, because at this point I have as much clue as you guys as to how this is all going to pan out at the end. But keep an eye on the classification towards the end of this coverage, because that is subject to change depending on how many penalties are going to be dished out. And not to mention, the stewards will also be watching this at the end of this race and deciding if any further penalties were applied. The British Grand Prix, the race winner, provisional race winner, Burkay, had a penalty, unfortunately was unable to retain the race win as a result of his penalties, so plenty to go on after this race. As we're now coming up to lap 24, 11 laps to go. VSR_ICT leads the Grand Prix. GPRL Jaffa Baboon in the hat right behind him. I mean, VSR has shown good pace, but he's not really got away from his competition, as now GPRL is right up behind him again, and he'll be looking to capitalise. But it's not a great exit from him. Is he able to stay in the slipstream? VSR_ICT will on board with him once again. We'll see if he's going to make a lunge around the inside. He does go to the inside to try and see if he can scare out the race leader, but VSR's not falling for it, as Fletcher again, another couple attempts taken out of his rival in the McLaren. PMP_Cassie G finally, after a solid drive and a brilliant performance, one of the newest drivers in F2, very quick by the looks of it, and that's great to see. We want quick drivers in this championship. And Fletcher's putting him under pressure, but GPRL Jaffa Baboon is looking to try and go round the outside of VSR_ICT. They're going to the stadium section, just a tenth apart. VSR_ICT under massive pressure as a lunge on the inside from the Haas driver, and he's kept it inside. They touch, but he's just avoided it. And Tim Coronel has moved up into 5th place ahead of Dapper Roddy. Dapper Roddy's got a problem. He's got a massive problem. He's obviously lost it somewhere. Fletcher and PMP_Cassie G battling again. Oh, it's all going on. It's almost impossible to keep up with everyone. Jaffa Baboon has got a penalty for, well, multiple warnings, another 3 seconds, so that is not good. As I said, I'm not sure if VSR_ICT has any penalties. I can't recall. For those of you Eagle Eye viewers watching the coverage, do let me know if he does. This is Jaffa Baboon going to make a lunge on the inside. He's a bit too far behind this time. As with Fletcher in the Red Bull, is he going to try and go around the inside? No, he holds position. Not this time around, but PMP_Cassie G has gone wide on the hairpin, but he'll get good traction on the exit. Not much else going on the rest of the track at the moment. Burkay in 8th place, we're keeping an eye on him, battling with Dapper Roddy, who's falling down the order in the Mercedes, was on the podium not too long ago, but he's made a few mistakes and has cost him to fall down the order. It's been an absolutely enthralling race so far, as we're with the battle for 1st and 2nd and 3rd and 4th. Neil Tix has retired from 11th, not sure what's happened to him, but it's not been a good day for him in the Racing Point. He's usually capable of much more pace, but it's just not been his day. It happens to the best of us, unfortunately, so better luck to him in the upcoming races in the future. He's got Burkay round the back, and there's been an incident. It looks like a piece of the Ferrari end plate from Burkay has gone, and it is the front left end plate. As Jaffa Baboon goes into the pits, Burkay looks like he's got damage. Is he going to pit again? No, he carries on, but he's going to lose a lot of front downforce. Spoir on pole, and Tim Coronel go through. And now we're with Fletcher again, who's battling with PMP_Cassie G. Looking to see if he can try and get through. Burkay's got another penalty for multiple warnings. So we're with the battle now for 7th and 8th place between Dapper Roddy and Burkay. Dapper Roddy is on 15 lap hold intermediates, Burkay is on 8 lap hold intermediates, so Burkay's got a much bigger pace advantage despite losing that front left end plate, and he's looking to shave and move up. He goes to the inside. Oh, there's hardly any room for the overtake, but Burkay forces Dapper Roddy out wide into the Mercedes, and he looks like he's made that move stick. Can he keep it going? Has he got the traction? It looks like he does, but this battle's going to be far from over. Last time Burkay was ahead, he got taken out by Tim Coronel. Dapper Roddy goes around the outside. He's forced him wide, almost onto the grass. He just about leaves enough space for Dapper Roddy, and he manages to hold on to that. Great driving between those two there. with GPRL in 6th place now on fresh intermediate tyres, perhaps looking for an undercut on VSR ST. And now Jay Fletcher looks like a bad exit for PNP underscore Cassie G, finally under some real pressure from him as we're on board with a Red Bull, looking to try and get a good exit. Tim Coronel gets a penalty for multiple time warnings. Now, that's not going to help his cause. But we're on board now with Fletcher, who's got a great run on PNP. He's in the slipstream, looking to try and make the move. He goes to the outside as PNP defends on the inside. He manages to hold on to position, but can he get the undercut? Can he get the switch back? And it looks like the McLaren driver holds on to it now, but now we're going to see Fletcher try and go round. He goes to the inside, he's left the door open, and Fletcher round the inside, and that is a great overtake. Can he keep it going? He's going to have the outside, and he makes it stick. That is brilliant driving. Fletcher up into 2nd place, which could effectively be the race lead, but it all depends on the race leader. Will he pit or will he stay out on these older tyres? Great move from Fletcher. These two guys, you wouldn't think these were rookies in the Vrl F2 series, but they are showing their pace, and they are showing everyone in this championship that these guys mean business. Being new does not mean that they are not fast, and they are definitely showing their pace. Great stuff from those two. Bois on pole in 4th place gets another penalty for multiple warnings. He's currently 9 seconds off PPKSG, and Fletcher has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So despite the efforts of getting up into 2nd place, he now finds himself having to try and battle time now to maintain that, because I'm not sure if PNP underscore Cassie G has any penalties at this time. We've had a race director to help me out here. I am almost as blind as you guys, unless you're tallying it all up. But we are with the battle for 5th place between Tim Coronel and GPRL Jaffa Baboon. And Tim Coronel's been no stranger to on-track incidents in the last couple of races. And, well, he looks very feisty in this one here. He goes to one side, he tries to block him off, he tries to block him off again, but he's gone for the switch. GPRL Jaffa Baboon, he's sold him a dummy, and he's gone round the inside, but it's not a great exit. Tim Coronel manages to get the place back into 5th place, a good exit from him, and now they're going to be battling coming in. Will he try to dummy him again? He goes for a dive around the inside, they're going to touch, and they do touch, and he sent GPRL spinning. GPRL got too greedy there, and he started spinning. Probably one of the only incidents I wouldn't exactly blame Tim Coronel for, as he holds on to 5th place. As Burkeye is going to come up to that incident, as you can see, an extra place coming up. As now the front three all coming together once again. VSR underscore IST, Jay Fletcher in the Red Bull in 2nd, PNP underscore Cassie G. We've got 5 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Well, just over 5 laps to go. Wow, it is all going off here, and we've still got plenty of action to go. Who is going to win this race? We don't know. The front three, any one of them could be winning it at the moment. And obviously with penalties in the equation, who knows who's going to win this race? But stay tuned with us, we're going to find out momentarily who is going to win this German Grand Prix. Our championship leader, race leader, VSR underscore IST on 17 lap old intermediate tyres. Surely he is going to try and go to the end of those tyres. He's going to have to fend off the 2 young guns, the 2 rookies, Jay Fletcher and PNP underscore Cassie G, on tyres that are 6 laps fresher than VSR underscore IT. And Hendrich Hanks has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. There are only 12 runners left. If you have just joined us, you need to restart this stream, because we have had one hell of a race so far, and we are just about to come to the conclusion. As Jay Fletcher in the stadium section, you can see the gains that he's making. He's got so much more grip in that Red Bull, so much more confidence. It's only a matter of time before it looks like he's going to make another move on the race leader. He's right behind. That is the gap. That is what 2 tenths looks like in a Formula 1 car. It's literally nothing. It's VSR underscore IST. Looks like it might be shaping up a move here, as Jay Fletcher might go around the outside of VSR underscore IST. He's not going to be able to hold it there, surely. And VSR underscore IST manages to maintain the lead. But we're going to be going it now down the long straight. And he's right behind. They are neck and neck with each other. But there's a virtual safety car. Oh no. Hendrich Hengst, an incident for him. I don't know what's happened to him, but he is retired from the race in Mercedes, and it started so well for him, but it's not worked out for him. And just as Fletcher was about to go for the inside on the race leader, the virtual safety car has saved him the chance. But it looks like we are going to be... Are we back on the way? Not quite yet. Not quite yet. So just a quick look at the order and who has made up places. Bois on pole, 12 places made in this race. Anything can happen in this. Great job for you. Burkhardt up 6 places. Unfortunate that he stuck down in that position, given that he had the incident with Tim Coronel, which basically took him down the order. And now we are back underway. We are racing again. VSR underscore Ice-T. Now we'll have to contend with Jay Fletcher again, and PMP underscore Cassie G has joined the battle for the race lead. We have got 3 guys now, the championship leader and the 2 rookies racing each other now for the race win in Germany. Who is going to win this German Grand Prix? Put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know who you think is going to win this race, and also let me know who is your driver of the day at the moment. Right now we've got 3 contenders for that, and quite frankly, I have no idea who's going to win this race. This is exciting stuff. This is what we want to see. This is what VRL is all about. And you will only see this on this channel. You will not see this on any other esports racing YouTube channel. I can guarantee you that. As Jay Fletcher now shaping up a move around the outside of the race leader. He has gone for the lunge. Can he hold on to the lead? And he's got the exit. And it's a bit of a slide for VSR underscore IC. And Jay Fletcher takes the lead in the Red Bull. What a move. A man meant to be a reserve driver in the Red Bull has come into the seat, and he has let everyone know that what he is about, and he leads the German Grand Prix. PMP underscore Cassie G following closely in the McLaren. Another impressive show from him as well. Started on pole, has led this race from the get-go, but he's up there on the podium at the moment. Can VSR underscore Ice-T fight back? I don't know if he's got the tyres left to fight back with. It is all going on now, and we haven't even factored in penalties. Don't forget, Jay Fletcher has a 3-second time penalty. I'm not sure if he has other penalties, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not able to check while this action is going on, I'm afraid. So we're going to have to wait and see, but he is going to have to build up a gap now. Hopefully for him, VSR underscore Ice-T can hold up PMP underscore Cassie G to try and give. And Fletcher, what's happened to Fletcher? Fletcher's lost it. Oh wow, our race leader's out of the race. Yes, you can see he's absolutely smashed it into the barrier. I cannot believe it. I'm so sorry that we've missed that. The race leader has completely lost it, and he is out of the race. My word. And now we're down to 2. VSR underscore Ice-T back into the lead. He cannot believe it. He's back in the lead again. And now we're with PMP underscore Cassie G in the McLaren. Will he now take the lead? My word. I mean, I feel so sorry for Fletch, I really do, but that is the brutal nature of Formula 1 racing, and especially in this league. Doesn't matter how well you've driven, it doesn't matter how fast you are or how much it looks like you're going to win, anything can happen. One mistake, especially in these conditions, and you are out of the race. And if you want any evidence of that, cast your minds back to the 2018 German Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel had a very, very similar incident and effectively cost him the momentum in the World Championship, as we are now 2 laps from the end. VSR underscore Ice-T, your championship leader, is now leading the race on 21 lap old intermediate tyres. PMP underscore Cassie G, a new young gun in this championship in the McLaren, is running in 2nd place, and he can sniff a race victory. He's on fresher tyres, and he has been fast all session long, and he will be looking to try and see if he can be the 3rd race winner in VRL F2. Further down the field, Papine has made the move and has passed DRS aquaplaning, and Big Roo is now up into 10th after unlapping himself and passing the stricken Jay Fletcher, who will not score any points despite his efforts. That retirement, well, I feel sorry for him, I really do. And S-Wager Gaming TV, you are absolutely right, my friend. In order to finish first you have to finish, as the cliche goes, and that is exactly right. And Fletcher will be having his head in his hands. I feel sorry for him. I really wanted to talk to him after the race to get his thoughts on what a great drive, but we still have a race going on, and there's less than 2 laps left to go. We're about to start the final lap. Can PMP underscore Cassie G, can he overtake the race leader and the championship leader on the final lap. It's all or nothing. We are now down for the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Strap yourselves in as we are about time for 1 minute and 20 seconds of pure hard goal, unadulterated racing on the final lap. Bois on pole sits the fastest up in the race, but we're not interested in that right now. We are interested in the battle for the lead. It's now PMP Cassidy. Can he get a good run? He's got a good run on VSR_ST. He's less than 3 times behind him. He's in the slipstream. Surely he's going to go for a move down the inside. VSR_ST goes for the inside to cover that line. PMP Cassidy, he's left the gap open. Oh, but they've touched. VSR_ST's driven into him in the front, but he's... Oh, wow, they're just shoving each other. PMP_Cassidy did not like that. They've gone together, but somehow they managed to keep it going. Is there any damage on their cars? It doesn't look like it, but now he's gone for the inside again on the lunge. Oh, he's gone, he's shoved him to the outside, they've collided, and he's made the move stick. Oh my word, my voice, it can't keep up with this action, but what a move, what fighting. Not sure if that's going to be deemed legal by the stewards, but PMP_Cassidy took the lead of the race on the final lap, and he is in the stadium section now. If he can keep it together, surely he will win the race. But penalties, don't forget penalties. There may be penalties for one of these two, so we will see if the order stays the same as across the line. PMP_Cassidy on his debut has won the German Grand Prix, and VSR_ST, the championship leader, looked like he was going to win, and a little bit of argy-bargy there. He's not happy about that move, but he will finish in second. Bois on pole. Third, podium, his first time out in the Williams. Great drive from you, sir, in third place. Tim Coronel in fourth. GPRL Jaffa Baboon in fifth place. In the Haas, and Burkai, a difficult race for him, but he finishes in sixth place. Of course, the stewards are going to be reviewing the action. What a drive from the rookie. PMP_Cassidy with the victory in the McLaren on his debut. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot quite believe the race that we have just seen today. It was chaos, it was manic, but we have a rookie winner. Of course, VSR was a rookie himself in the first race, but our third winner, provisionally, of course. The stewards have to review the decision, but what a drive for the McLaren driver. He is going to be my driver of the day. I know some of you fans will vote for your driver of the day. Please do vote for your drivers of the day. As I said before, Max Verstappen is not an option, so please do not comment him. Let me know who you think driver of the day is in the comment section as well, please. And we're going to get interviews with our top three, hopefully. So hopefully they'll stay with us. So that is the provisional order. A lot of penalties. The front two, guys, no penalties for them. So brilliant job, you guys. It was really an out-and-out battle for that race win. And there's your top three. PMP_Cassidy in the McLaren. VSR_ST in the Racing Point, the championship leader. He's going to be second. Bois on pole, his debut. 16th on the grid. Might have to revise my driver of the day, but no, I'm going to stick to it. PMP_Cassidy in the nature of the race. Third place of Bois on pole in the Williams. Great drive to you, sir. Tim Coronel, very controversial figure. Sorry, he was pole position. I do beg your pardon on that one. He also, did he set the fastest lap of the race? It looks, no he didn't. That was Bois on pole, excuse me. Fourth, fifth, GPRL, Jaffa Baboon and Burkai in sixth, and we roll down the rest of the order. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. I am now going to invite the top three finishers for a post-race interview. Whew. I'm going to have to catch my breath for that one, so hopefully they stay with us. So I'm going to try and invite now the top three finishers. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen, as so I'm now going to send invitations to the top three finishers. So please do bear with me. Hello, Bois on pole. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to be inviting other drivers. Yourself, obviously, invited to the chat, and also going to invite our race winner. And I'm just also looking for VSR IC. So just bear with me. I'm going to interview those guys first, and then I'll get to you in a moment. But obviously, first of all, congratulations on your third place finish. I believe was it your debut? Am I right? Yes. Excellent, excellent stuff. So bear with me as I'm just waiting for the other two
Yeah.
to join us. Actually, we're in the meantime, since you're with me, I'll actually interview you first. So first of all, we have Bois on pole. Great name, by the way. Obviously, must be a Kimi Raikkonen fan, I'm sure.
Yep.
First of all, congratulations. It was your first race in VRL F2, first race for the Williams team, and you've managed to get a podium, pulled that out of the bag. Congratulations, my friend. How do you feel after that result?
Thank you very much. I mean, it was a great race. Starting P16, well, I retired in qualifying, as I had a bit of an issue with my setup, so I retired and decided to start from the back. A new set of interiors, and I knew it was a raining race, so I guess there were safety cars. I went off the line. I think I gained 4 to 5 positions, and it was good till then. And then, well, carnage started. It was probably like the 2019 German Grand Prix, and yeah, it was basically crazy stuff.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That was a carnage race as well. I was just reminiscing about that race earlier today, thinking, are we going to get a race similar to that? And well, you guys certainly didn't disappoint. Gotta say, despite starting so far down on the grid, did the safety car sort of help with your strategy? Because it looked like there were a few drivers that would benefit, but I remember the first stint you stayed out quite a lot longer than a lot of the other guys, and it brought you all the way up into the top 4. Was that just a conscious decision to
Yeah.
stay out longer, or did that just play into your hands?
I decided. Well, I pitted on lap 2 because I got front wing damage. But then when the first safety car came out, I waited 1 lap because my teammate went in, and then I pitted. And when I checked my tires, when the third safety car came out, I was like, "Oh, I don't need to pit. I have good tires." So I was like, "I might as well continue because half the field's in the pits." So I came up to P4, but sadly, I think was it one of the Hasses, or I think it was Tim, Corral, who broke really early before the safety cars about to go, and I smashed it to the back of him, broke my front wing, which lost me time, so I had to pit right away. But after that, I dropped to about P14, and after that, I don't know, just put my head down and continued with my friend in the party, helped me out through there. He was Sharon Larry. He retired sadly. He was involved in one of the carnages. He actually got hit from behind, I believe, retired, but he helped me all the way through, and as much credit goes to him, because if it wasn't for him, I'd probably be 10th or backwards in a wall somewhere.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sean Lowry drove a very good race, and unfortunately a few incidents, and I mean, that's the brutal nature of the VRL F2 Championship. A lot of guys here, everyone wants to win, everyone's fast,
Yep.
but you do get these incidents, but you managed to avoid any
No.
serious incidents, keep it clean. So yeah, no, it was a fantastic performance, and obviously moving on for the rest of the season, there's plenty of time to
Yep.
claw your way up the championship. So what are your ambitions for the championship? How do you think you will
P1.
do? P1, we're going for P1.
Going for P1.
Why
I
not?
need to catch ST.
That's what I liked it. Well, yeah, he's been very, very good. Another second place finish for him today. I don't know if you were able to keep an eye on what was going on with the front
I
two guys. I mean, obviously Fletcher unfortunately had that spin very late on in the race.
Yeah, I could see him. The thing is, I was right behind Ice-T at one of the points, but I believe I had to fight some other guy, so he pulled away. I had to fight his teammate as well, who really blocked me off. But then I had wing damage, so I passed his teammate. Then I saw him, but then because I pitted, I lost a good 19-20 seconds to him. But then I think I could have definitely won the race if it wasn't for that little collision right behind Tim Corral when he broke early.
Yeah.
And I broke my wing on it. I caught him at the end really fast. It was like a good 10-second gap, and then at the end of the race it was around 6 seconds. So.
Yeah, I mean he had some damage as well because Tim's a very quick driver, but he was no stranger to incidents, especially in this race. So yeah, the stewards will be looking at a lot of these incidents. So hopefully we shall get confirmation of what's going on there. But no, that was a brilliant drive from you, my friend. Great to have you with VRL F2. definitely a fine acquisition, and I look forward to seeing you perhaps on the podium a bit more in the future races. Great job.
Definitely, yep. Thank you very
much. Thank you. Have a good evening. Okay, so that moves on to our second place finisher, VSR underscore Ice T. Are you with me? Are you here? Hello again, my friend. So, first of all, before we talk about the main incidents, great to see that you were able to stay with us in this race, unlike what happened in Britain. Obviously, there were some issues with the lag and the servers that prevented you from being able to compete in that race. But a second place finish, despite what happened at the end of the race. First of all, can I get your thoughts on the result? How do you feel right now?
Mixed feelings. From P10 to P2 is not that bad, so it was a good race, but my pace was not there where I wanted to. A lot of crashes, a lot of safety cars, so yeah. I was turned around in the second corner by one of the coronels, I think, so. And I take
what if it might be
light
Tim?
green wing.
Yeah,
I think it was Tom.
Oh, it was Tom?
Yeah,
oh, excuse me. Oh, I do apologise, Tim, if
Oh.
you do listen to this back. But
Tim was...
yeah, Tim had a few incidents in the race, but you know, like I said, Tim's a good driver. Unfortunately, it just wasn't his day. But yeah, so moving on. Yeah, as you said, a lot of safety car incidents. I mean, if I may say, you seem to be the master at being able to find the right opportunity to take advantage of these safety car periods, and obviously getting yourself into a position where you're not quite in the main running for the race win, but then as the race goes on, you're always at the front when it matters most, and that's a big skill to have, and so great stuff on that. So moving on to the big talking point on the very, very last lap with the race winner in the McLaren, first time out of the rookie for him. So just for the benefit of the fans watching, could you just talk us through that incident from your perspective?
I think he's going for a gap that isn't there. He easily got around the outsides. Great move from Fletcher. He did it before him. So yeah, I don't know why he's going for the gap, but isn't there. So
you
and
felt
that's
perhaps
my tires. Yeah, my tires are dead. He easily won that battle. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was strange because both you guys, neither of you had penalties, which, you know, first of all, great stuff on that one, because everyone else in the race had penalties except for you two. So it was an all-out battle for that race win on that last lap, which is what we want to see, the fans want to see as well. But yeah, it did get a bit aggressive. I'm not sure what the stewards will look into. I'm sure they'll have a look and see how it goes. But it's, first of all, as from a fan's perspective, it's great to see obviously yourself up the front, but it's great to see other guys challenging you for race wins. I was starting to get a bit worried that you were going to run away with it, but so that'll be interesting to see as we go on. What are your thoughts going into the next races? Because right now you're the runaway leader in the championship, quite a large margin. I haven't done the maths on this, but you are quite some way ahead of the competition. So
could I ask something? What is the gap to P1 from P2 to championship, like before this race?
I'd have to get back to you on that one because it was quite all over the place. But I'm sure the admin
26
team
or something.
Was it? Yeah,
16, something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, the admin team keep tally on that at the moment, and they will update us momentarily with that. But yeah, it's still quite a large margin from what I understand. So don't worry. I'm sure VSR IST is not too far away, but it's going to take a big effort and a lot of consistency at the moment to catch up with him at this point in time, but there's still plenty of racing to go, so that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Great. So I think so I think that should be all, guys. I'm just looking to see if we can get the race winner on the chat. So I guess all that's left for me to say for you guys is thanks very much for your fantastic driving. I've got to say well done. And we'll be looking forward to seeing more of that from you guys in the upcoming races.
Yep.
Right.
Great.
No problems.
Okay, take it easy,
Thank
guys.
you very much for having me.
Oh, I absolutely loved
much.
it. Thank you very much, my friend. Enjoy your evening, and look forward to seeing you soon. Great. So ladies and gentlemen, just bear with me one moment. So yes, bear with us ladies and gentlemen, I am just trying to invite our race winner. Of course the stewards will be reviewing all the incidents at the moment, so despite what happened in the last race, the British Grand Prix, we can never really know. Sometimes these things can change, and we may have a change in all like before. But at the moment, provisional results, the top three, P&P Cassidy G, debut race in the McLaren, race winner after the exciting final lap battle with our championship leader VSR_ICT, who still leads the championship by quite a margin. Of course, check out the VRL related pages on Instagram and Twitter. And those again, VRL_PS4 on Twitter and Vision Racing League on Instagram, and they will update us with the current standings, or those of you that are quite eager to calculate and tally these up, then we will be able to see what the standings look like in the due course. So unfortunately it looks like our race winner, who's not familiar with the protocol, has been unable to join us, so I'm afraid that's the end of our coverage. So thank you very much ladies and gentlemen for joining us for another instalment of the VRL F2 Championship. What a fantastic race that was. Please do like, share, follow and subscribe to the Hot Lap Mode VRL PS4. The more you guys support us, the more likes you give us, the more notification bells you hit, the more you subscribe to this channel, the more great content and great racing we can produce for you guys. So my name is Adam Burns, signing out as Adensky for the evening. Enjoy your evening ladies and gentlemen wherever you are around the world. Thank you very much for joining our coverage, and we will see you at the next race, which, if I believe my memory serves me correctly, it is in it is at Spa by the looks of it, according to the calendar. So we look forward to seeing you at Spa next weekend. So if you've got plans on Saturday night, cancel them. And also we have the small matter of the German Grand Prix for the VRL F1 race, which yours truly will also be co-commentating on with Sem. So I'll be hoping to add a little bit of spice to that as well. So we're looking forward to that race. Please do tune in for that. That is at Sunday at 2:30 PM UK time, which is 3:30 European time, wherever you are around the world. So please do tune in for that. And now, once and for all, Adam Burns signing off from the German Grand Prix of VRL F2. Have a great evening, you lovely lot, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Good night.